and thank you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City. I'm your host, Cortney Bloomer. Today's episode is brought to you by the Wired Wednesday Digital Artists Group, who are pleased to bring you the Carson City Citywide Short Film Competition. All the films are produced here locally, and they will be screened at the Brewery Arts Center on May 6th. The entire community is invited. Our guest today is Kitty McKay, who is the director of the Carson Tahoe Health Foundation.
Yes, I am. Hello, Courtney.
Hi there. The Carson Tahoe Health Foundation provides so much great support for a lot of different things here in Carson City.
Yes.
Talk briefly about the foundation for people who might not be familiar with your work.
Well, thank you. And it's so great to be here because we, as the community's hospital, we of course take care of everyone when they come and they need immediate medical attention. But we're also really committed to taking care of the needs that go beyond the hospital walls. And that's a really big calling, and that's one of the big reasons we have a foundation, so that we can channel levels of support to different areas of need. So one of the biggest ones, and often people don't really realize it, but in our community, we have so many cancer patients that are in dire financial need. And it's one thing to get a diagnosis of cancer that feels so frightening because it's life-threatening. But there's also many people that get a cancer diagnosis and then they can't pay their mortgage, or they can't, sometimes we have single moms that they've worked hard, they're supporting their kids, but then they can't work for 6 weeks because their treatment may be so intense that they then have this big gap. And we are committed to making sure that people are carried through that time. And so that's a big part of what we do in the foundation, is provide that kind of safety net funding, especially for local cancer patients.
Now, one way that you guys fundraise for that is through the big event that happens every year, Hopefest.
Yes, yes.
It's always a big deal. It's a huge event in the community. It takes place in the summertime.
Yes.
It's early still, but what are some things that you've got planned for this year?
Well, it's Hopefest, although we hold it in August, we kind of work all year long to work towards Hopefest, because just like the event may be once a year, but our cancer patients' needs go year long, so that one day is kind of the culmination. But so at Hopefest, we support two different aspects of our cancer patients' need. One is through our Cancer Resource Center, we provide funding and that sort of thing, but we also have all these free resources, classes, yoga, massage, wigs, prosthesis. All of that is complimentary, free to anyone in need. But we also have no-cost lodging. Are you familiar with the Mariner Cottages?
I am, but let's tell everybody because some of our viewers may not be.
Yeah. So if you are, most everyone is familiar with a Ronald McDonald house.
Right.
So it is a very unique situation that we have right there on campus. Like the Ronald McDonald house, it's these beautiful one-bedroom cottages that are available to anyone who has financial need, who's receiving treatment on campus. And so they have beautiful fireplaces, and they're warm and cozy. They were all made possible by Ruth Mariner, who she even has embroidered little loving touches inside each cottage. And so many people wouldn't be able to receive treatment, especially some of our rural patients. So although the cottages were built, what the foundation does is we keep them brightly lit and warm and cozy. So the Hopefest funding also goes towards the Mariner Cottages. So what we do all year long is we build support for Hopefest, and we have many, many people in the community that are part of what we call Team Hope. And Team Hope is kind of a cool thing where for $250 you can sponsor a sign at the Walk of Hope that goes up to Hopefest. You can have your company's logo on it, and you also have inspirational messages of your choosing, like, "You're not alone. We're in this with you. You got this, all that sort of thing. And so it's really cool because the whole walkway up to Hopefest is lined with these inspirational signs from people in our community, business members, retired people, nurses, everyone. And so imagine if you are this cancer patient who's been diagnosed and you're really struggling, and you walk up to Hopefest, a free event done especially for you, and you see these signs of encouragement. I just get chills. But for many, what they tell us is this support from people they don't even know is the healing, because you get that big whammy in your life. You think, oh my gosh, why me? Why this? Why now? And somehow that support from all these people it just softens the difficulty of the journey. And so we're actively taking people's contributions that are part of Team Hope, and they can create a sign either as a person or a business. And then they also are given a window sign that they talks about Hopefest 7 that's coming up on August 18th.
And they can display that sign at their business.
Exactly.
To help build support. Now, most people, even if they themselves have not received a cancer diagnosis, know someone, a family member, a coworker, a friend, someone
A sister,
who has
a
been
teacher,
diagnosed with cancer. Yes.
a Rotary member. Yes, every year, and we ask our 2,000 people out there, raise your hand if you've been touched by cancer. Every hand goes up.
Right.
It's just, I just got a call right before I got in here that my father-in-law was just diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, literally
Right.
2 minutes ago. So it's all of us.
We're not
And
at the finish line yet for cancer.
We
So
aren't.
we need to keep working together to support people who have cancer, and also to work towards ending cancer.
We're all in this together. And our community, I am so blown away by our community all the time. But once people realize there's this need for gas to get to treatment, to help people with costly medications, to give them a place to stay while they're getting treatment, there's this outpouring like, oh my gosh, I never knew that was even a need. And it is. And, if we can help soften that financial challenge, it gives them the opportunity to focus on their healing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Kitty, the foundation is involved in cancer treatment, of course, and this support. What are some ways throughout the year, I know you mentioned the signs, but what are some other ways if people want to get involved and want to help out the foundation? How can they be involved with that?
Well, there's always great volunteering opportunities. We always very gratefully accept donations all year long. And the thing about the hospital and the foundation itself is why cancer is a big need that we have. We do scholarships for cardiac patients that have recently had heart attacks and need to go through a cardiac rehab program. We help. There's just if you think about a community and you think about a community's health and then the hospital, it kind of touches every single hub of our life. And so there's certainly always opportunities, especially to send contributions, but then to also volunteer for different things as we go along.
All right. And
Yes.
give us the website so people can go and read more and learn about some of these opportunities and how to
Yes.
get in touch with you.
And so the website is carsontahoe.com/foundation, or the phone number is 445-5166.
All right. Fantastic. And people can go there and learn about all of the fantastic work that the foundation is doing around cancer and around a number of other really important health issues that are facing our community.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for being here today and joining us, and for sharing a little bit about something that's going on in our community that maybe not everybody is familiar with, but definitely want to encourage everyone to come out for
Yes.
Hopefest.
You know, also, Cortney, we really encourage anyone that wants to see what's going on to come see the Cancer Resource Center, to come see the Mariner Cottages. We love to give tours because it's so heartwarming and powerful. So please.
Very impactful. So.
Yes.
All right. So there's an offer for the community. Come check it out in person.
Yes,
come see what's going on. All right. Thanks so much for joining us, and thanks to all of you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City, brought to you by the Wired Wednesday Digital Artists Group. Check them out on Facebook at Wired Wednesday Digital Artists. If your organization would like to sponsor a future edition of It's Your City, please contact Darla at the address shown on your screen. I'm your host, Courtney Bloomer. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.